how you doing? This is TVN School. Вивчаємо з тобою ми англійську. How are you? Що скажеш, коли ти зустрінеш якогось іноземця? So, let's speak English. Англійська мова Шекспіра та нью-йоркських таксистів. Англійська стане у нагоді вам, бойські дівчиська.
Hello again, and together with you there are Oksana Ivanenko and Paul Lowe.
Hello, Oksana. Hello, Year 5.
So, today we continue working on the school life and we'll find out what kind of student are you. So, Paul, do you think, were you a good student at school?
I was probably adequate.
What does that mean?
I was like not bad, but not good.
Okay, so something in the middle, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, right guys, and we will start our class with the school jokes. Paul, did you like to joke at school?
Me and my friend had a very good practical joke that we played on other people, and it soon spread around the whole school.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay, you'll tell us about it in just a moment after we finish our task. Let's start, guys. Let's have a look at the board. There are two halves of the jokes, and we'll try to match them together. All right, number one, Paul.
Why was school easier for cave people?
What do you think about that?
Maybe because they were at the beginning of history, so perhaps there was no history to study.
Absolutely, that's correct. They were at the very beginning of our history. The next one, did your father help you with your homework?
Definitely he did.
Definitely he did. But do we have this answer here?
I think it's number 6. He did all the homework by himself.
Right, exactly, guys. Does it ever happen to you when your parents are so helpful that they decide, okay, a deep breath, and it's easier to do it all by myself than to explain it to my child. Number 3, there is a short dialogue. So, what did you do at school today?
We did a guessing game.
Oh, but I thought you were having a math test. Remember, that's a joke, so there should be a funny ending. What do you think, Suits?
Oh, this is a difficult one. I'm not too sure.
Look, what did you do at school today? We did a guessing game. But I thought you were having a math test. That's right. That was kind of a guessing game because the student isn't very confident in the math. That's why that was the guessing game.
He didn't do any revision.
Absolutely. So, guys, revision, do you remember what is that? Це повторення матеріалу вже вивченого перед контрольною або заліковою роботою. So, guys, I hope that you have never played the guessing game in the numeracy because you should be the diligent students. So, the other one, you know you can't sleep in my class.
I know, but maybe if we were just a little quieter, I could.
Absolutely. Does it ever happen to you? Especially, I guess, in the mornings, right? When you wake up early and you want to sleep. And especially when the teacher is very quiet and calm, it gets you, poof, fall asleep in the lesson. Has it ever happened to you?
Not really, no. I'm normally quite good in the mornings. I'm a morning person.
Right.
In the afternoon lessons, maybe after lunch, that's when I fall asleep.
Okay, I see. I'm absolutely the opposite. I'm the evening person, so I'm the most productive in the evenings and at night. So in the morning, I always wanted to sleep. And the last one, why did Johnny take a ruler to bed?
This one must be the only one that's left because he wanted to see how long he slept.
Absolutely. So you see, that's the play with the words. How long he slept and how long we measure the distance and the time, right? Okay, and now let's ask Mr. Paul to share that funny joke or a trick that came widespread in his school. So what was that?
It was like a practical joke. So to be honest, I don't know why or how me and my friend started this, but we said that we made something good luck, so people had to do this to receive good luck, so everybody was doing it after we told the story. We said that if you see a funeral procession, that's like black cars taking a dead body to the cemetery for a funeral. If you see one of these go past you in the street, you must hold your collar. This is a collar. And you cannot let go of your collar until you see a four-legged animal, probably a cat or a dog. So sometimes if you're in school, you look out the window, you can't see a cat and dog. So our friends were holding a collar for like 2 hours. So it became a practical joke.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Wasn't it looking strange holding the collar for such a long time?
After a few lessons, the teachers would be like, students, why are you all looking out the window holding your collar?
That's fun, guys. Okay, so I'm sure that you have a lot of jokes in your school as well. But now we need to move on to the other task we have for today. And here we go. Let's revise the school subjects that we learned the last class. Okay, there are all of the pictures, and I'm sure all of you know what's going on here. It's just a short recall of the subject names. So, what do we call the subject that helps us with the numbers, with adding them up and minusing them from each other?
This is mathematics.
Absolutely. And the learning of another language will be, in our case,
English.
Right? And when we need to remember the dates and different events that has already happened.
History.
Right. And when we need to be very active during the class.
Physical education.
Right. And when we switch on our brains and start to work on different projects.
Projects?
With the technology.
Internet technology, IT.
Yep. Exactly. And when we need to get into acting and pretend to be another person.
Drama.
Yes. And when we do the experiments.
Science.
Yep. And when we learn our native language.
Ukrainian.
Good. And when we find out about different places around the world.
Geography.
And when we are using our artful skills to create something beautiful.
Could be art or music.
Okay, very well. Let's have a look if you guessed it together with us. So here we are. Everything is correct. Thank you very much. So now, guys, let's have a look at these words that might seem unknown for you in our next task. So, to work hard означає старанно працювати. To respect – поважати. To create rules – створювати правила. To break the rules – порушувати ці ж правила. Punishment – покарання. To be very good at something – це бути вправним у чомусь. Та outside – на свіжому повітрі. So now you are absolutely prepared to get to know about a very unusual school in the world. Paul, I remember that you've been very good at geography when you were at school. Am I right?
Yeah, I do like geography, yes.
Yes. You know, I've always wondering, how do people remember all these difficult geographical names, coordinates, the numbers? How is that possible?
Well, I used to just like make word patterns. I think it's called semantic links. So you make patterns in your brain, you make connections with other words you already know. This helps you to remember better. So, for example, this is a modern link, but you know, the Amazon is a famous company now, so you'd remember the Amazon company and the Amazon River, or you know, like you could think of a place like, let's say, a famous city like New York. You could think of think of new things, and you remember New York. So just make simple connections with what you know already and make word patterns. That's what I used to do.
Right. That's a very good way to remember the new things when you are learning something difficult or easy. And now, Paul, do you know that there is a school in the world where the students can do whatever they really want?
This is what we call anarchy, yes? Chaos.
Yes, it could be that, but the students in that school are very diligent, like you are in geography. Diligent means старанний. Дуже diligent students – це дуже старанні студенти. So, and they even create the rules for their own school. Do you want to know more about this school?
Yes, sounds very interesting. Let's learn more.
The first thing I'd like to share with you about this school is that in this school, teachers are like friends for their students, and the lessons are always funny and interesting because everyone works hard and respects their teachers.
In this school, sometimes students can teach lessons if they are very good at something. They teach their friends about music, dance, and art. The lessons can also be outside the classroom.
Oh, that must be great. Have you ever thought that in spring or probably in autumn, where the weather is still nice, of going outside and having a class, breathing the fresh air, having some fun? That's the great idea.
And now fresh air is very important.
Absolutely right. So when the more fresh air we get, the healthier we are. And there is one more interesting fact about that school, that students, as I said previously, create their own rules about important things. And moreover, they choose the punishment for those people who break the rules. Can you believe it? They are so serious about their school. And they even help the school to choose a teacher who will work the next academic year. That sounds like a great idea. Paul, have you ever heard of the students who can choose a teacher for their school?
Actually, a job interview I went to be a teacher in a school. Normally, in a teacher's interview, they have to do a practice lesson in front of other teachers or heads of department. But in this school, they had 3 or 4 students observe your interviewee lesson. So that was quite interesting, and they got evaluation from the students on what they thought this potential teacher would be like in their school. So that's a good